Welcome! You're on Malika.vedic Astrology, and this is your August forecast. And before we begin, one crucial point. The forecasts presented here are based on your ascendant sign. This is not Western, but Vedic astrology. Take a look at the first video on this channel. In it, I explain in detail the difference between Western and Vedic astrology. If you don't know your ascendant sign yet, simply write to me with your date of birth, exact time of birth, and place of birth, and I will help you determine it completely free of charge. All my contact information is in the description below this video. Sagittarius. If you've been following the forecasts, you know that from June 1st until the end of October, an exalted Jupiter is moving through your 8th house. This represents the house of transformation, encompassing all that is hidden from plain sight: secrets, mysticism, occult interests, psychology, and what lies beneath the surface of consciousness. This can include shared finances, inheritance, insurance, or other people's resources, along with matters of life and death and profound rebirth. This is a challenging territory, but the exalted Jupiter acts as a benevolent guide through these significant transformations. Even the most challenging issues are resolved with unexpected softness. And in August, the center of gravity begins to shift to a much more familiar territory for you, the 9th house, your own house of faith, meaning, and teachers. So, on August 2nd, Mars exits your 6th house of work and routine and enters the 7th house, Gemini, the house of partnership. The energy previously directed towards overcoming obstacles and professional endeavors will now pivot and flow into your relationships. You might experience an active, slightly assertive dynamic in your romantic or business partnerships. On August 5th, Mercury exits the 7th house of partnership, entering the 8th house, Cancer, where the Sun and exalted Jupiter already stand. These three planets in the house of transformation, secrets, and everything hidden grant the mind a distinctive sharpness when it comes to matters typically kept private. This could be joint finances, inheritance, psychology, mysticism, anything that happens not on the surface, but deep within. Then on August 12th, there's a new moon, and it falls exactly in your 8th house, conjoining with an exalted Jupiter and Mercury. This could manifest as an important yet non-public resolution in matters of joint finances or inheritance. A deep internal release from something that has been weighing on you for a long time. An unexpected interest in mysticism, psychology, or astrology might emerge at this time, or perhaps in something that previously seemed like a deeply concealed subject. It's a personal revelation, made in solitude, that profoundly shifts your perspective on many things. Jupiter here ensures that even the most intense topics and developments of this period will ultimately unfold to your advantage and benefit. On August 16th, the Sun leaves the 8th house and moves into your 9th house, the sign of Leo. This is your own house, the house of Dharma, luck, and higher purpose. It's the house of father, teachers, education, and foreign lands. And after an intense, sometimes challenging first half of the month, a bright, inspiring phase begins. On August 22nd, Mercury joins the Sun in the 9th house, where the planet Ketu has already been for a year. The 9th house, a trine of supreme purity. And Ketu here doesn't automatically become benevolent. It rather detaches you from reliance on pre-formulated answers, external authorities, and rigid dogmas, prompting you to seek meaning independently through your own life experiences, rather than relying on others' books or guidance from others. 3 planets here in the latter half of the month place a very strong emphasis on faith, on learning, and on distant horizons, but with an internal check for honesty and integrity. And then on August 27th, there's a full moon, and it's quite an unusual one. It features a partial lunar eclipse, one of the most profound in a very long time. It falls in your 3rd house, in the sign of Aquarius. House of effort, courage, and communication, where Rahu has been all year. In the 9th house, at this time, are the Sun, Mercury, and Ketu. This eclipse falls directly on the axis of my efforts versus my faith, potentially causing a sharp realization as to whether your daily actions are in true alignment with what you genuinely believe, or if there's a disconnect. This may involve a bold move, or a frank discussion with a sibling or neighbor that clarifies matters, or the necessity of harmonizing your efforts and beliefs with integrity. And one more detail for the entire month. Venus is in your 10th house, in the sign of Virgo, the house of career and status. But in Virgo, Venus is in its fall, and it doesn't feel very comfortable here. This may manifest as a sense that professional recognition is more challenging to achieve than usual, or a subtle feeling of insecurity regarding how you are perceived in your professional life. What truly helps here is relying on tangible results rather than mere charm. That isn't your main tool right now. Against this backdrop, Saturn is retrograde all month in your 4th house, in the sign of Pisces. This represents the house of real estate and the mother, functioning as a Kendra, making Saturn's presence intensely and directly felt here. Or it could signify additional responsibilities related to your home or your mother, or encountering delays in domestic affairs that will require both patience and a methodical approach. All right, now let's briefly go over the topics of health, money, career, and love for August. So, what's happening with health for Sagittarius in August? An exalted Jupiter in the 8th house provides a protective, safeguarding influence, even in matters that might seem worrying. If something long-standing comes to the surface in the first half of the month, it will most likely be resolved favorably. A retrograde Saturn in the 4th house can cause a background fatigue related to your workload at home. Don't shoulder it all. Now, money in August. The initial half of the month primarily revolves around shared resources, insurance, inheritance, and the finances of a partner. And here, Jupiter's blessing is on your side. A weakened Venus in the 10th house throughout the month indicates that income now comes from diligent effort and a solid reputation, rather than from effortless charm or simple appeal. Career in August. This month, professional recognition won't be as easy to achieve as it usually is due to the weakened Venus in your 10th house of career. You should count on facts and tangible results, not merely fleeting impressions. However, the second half of the month, with the Sun and Mercury moving into the 9th house, supports your career through a profound sense of purpose. Seek out work or projects that genuinely resonate with your core beliefs and values. So, what about love and relationships in August? On August 2nd, Mars enters the house of partnership, adding energy and initiative to relationships. You might see a more active and at times assertive dynamic. Moreover, the eclipse on August 27th, precisely positioned on the axis of effort and faith, might just reveal if your relationship truly aligns with your deepest, most authentic values, or if there's a disconnect. For those in a relationship, this is an opportune moment to sincerely check in with your partner, to ascertain if your everyday actions truly align with your shared beliefs, or if a reevaluation is necessary. For those who are seeking, a new acquaintance is quite possible through a bold personal initiative or through a circle connected with learning, philosophy, or common beliefs, rather than by mere accident or coincidence. August's main message. Sagittarius. This August leads you from depth to meaning. Firstly, through what has been hidden from plain sight, and then through what you genuinely believe in. Let your experiences become your compass, not your burden. Dear Sagittarians, I wish you a truly wonderful August. May your efforts and your faith finally align this month and move in the same direction. That was the general transit forecast for your sign. Your personal natal chart, or your personal annual forecast, will reveal precisely which themes will be most prominent for you and the extent to which these transits will manifest in your life. For an accurate analysis, I need your date of birth, exact time of birth, and place of birth. All contacts are listed below this video.